We'll begin with Donta Foreman, most recently signing a 1-year deal with the Chicago Bears. And the question is, how does this impact Khalil Herbert? I don't think it'll impact a lot because we saw Khalil Herbert play as the number 2 back behind David Montgomery. And I think that Khalil Herbert right now getting drafted in the 90s of ADP isn't really going to move the needle. Donta Foreman is only, if anything, this hurts Donta Foreman. I think this is a fine spot for Khalil Herbert. You aren't going to see much more of an increase because Donta Foreman is a good ball carrier. He played well last year after the Christian McCaffrey trade. In fact, there were 5 different games for Donta Foreman where he rushed for over 100 yards, but he does not have that second level of agility Khalil Herbert does. So I think this is the Bears hedging a little bit and bringing in a veteran back to support Khalil Herbert. I don't think that Khalil Herbert is going to be a 20 touch per game running back, at least at this point in the offseason. But what this indicates to me is this level of signing is not going to take away Khalil Herbert from being a 10 to 12 touch player per game. So we will see an increased workload for Khalil Herbert relative to 2022, but Donta Foreman's impact on Khalil Herbert is not going to be earth-shattering. It's not going to be destructive because the price was already baked in right now for Khalil Herbert to not be a full-time lead back, a top 15, top 12 back, etc. So Donta Foreman, this move to Chicago brings in a veteran. It brings in stability. And we could see Donta Foreman having some games, and we could see Khalil Herbert having some spike week games that we saw last. If you like the content, find this helpful, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. There was one game where Khalil Herbert was the number 1 running back in fantasy. So consider Donta Foreman as in a timeshare. I could see it being 45-55, 50-50, but I don't think that this is Donta Foreman comes in and takes all of the role away from Khalil Herbert. That's not how I'm viewing it. Donta Foreman maybe in that running back 5 role, like if we're valuing in fantasy, and Khalil Herbert, I think in that running back 3. So maybe like running back 30 to 35. I would have to look exactly at my rankings, and I haven't done an update from free agency yet. So once the dust settles, we've had a lot of free agents move. I will have those updated, those rankings updated. But for right now, Donta Foreman is not going to be and is not going to cause an implosion of Khalil Herbert's fantasy value right now.